Hello all my crafty friends, this is Kathy Champion. I'm your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Gastonia, North Carolina. Welcome to my channel. Before we get started, I want to tell you that if you are new here, if this is the first time that you've watched my videos, or if you are a regular watcher who has not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. That helps me build my channel, which gives me more prestige in the YouTube community, which in turn allows me to bring more quality videos to everyone. So that is very important. The other thing that I wanted to tell you, here is our new host code for November. I have been posting it in my description of my cards. I'm behind on my blog. I do apologize. I appreciate you for your patience, and I will get that updated hopefully today. I'm going to move this out of the way. And remember, if you order $50 or more in merchandise, it has to be $50 before shipping and handling and tax. Shipping and tax. So $50 or more. If you order $150, don't use this. You will get your own goodies from the order that you place, because if you get up to $150, you start earning product for free. So that's another thing that you need to keep in mind. If you wait to order your stuff all at one time, like at the end of the month or at the beginning of the month, just go ahead and place your bigger order then, and you will earn some free product. So enough about that. Now I want to tell you what I plan on doing. I needed a get well card, and I wanted something that was a little different than what I have been doing. So I just kind of sat and played and pulled something together. So I have my pieces all done. So as I put this together, I'm going to show you what I did. Now the first thing is I chose this Rococo Rose. Absolutely one of my favorite colors. I use the Rococo Rose a lot. I have the Rococo Rose ink, which I love. And I have a piece of Whisper White Thick that I used with the Pinewood Planks embossing folder. This is a 3D embossing folder. They are beautiful. Look at the wood grain on that. I love that. And this is in our annual catalog. So if you are in the market for a beautiful embossing folder, this would be a good time to grab it. And I cut this a little bit smaller. This is a regular A2 size card, so it measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. My white piece, I embellished it. I cut it first to 3 3/4 by 5 1/4, and you can decide which side you want to use. I kind of like that raised side, so I think I'm going to go with the raised side up, and that's the embossed, and the debossed is this side. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. But it's beautiful. But I'm going to use this side because I like the raised feel of that. So we're going to put that down onto our card about like that. I'm going to move my ink over here out of my way because we're not going to need that. I also pulled a piece of this from the Plaid Tidings paper pack. This is a Christmas, it's in the holiday mini catalog, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to show you all of the plaid pieces that comes in this pack. It is just, I'm going to fan it out this way, and you can see all 4 of the patterns. 4. There's quite a bit more than 4. You have all different colors, purples, greens, cherry cobbler, real red, balmy blue, Rococo Rose, rich raspberry. There are so many colors that would pair with this. Look at the crushed curry in that one. They are just endless. Look at this one right here. And then of course I chose this one because I love that green, the gray, the white, and of course the Rococo Rose. And if you turn them over, you have a whole nother set on the back, and you get 4 sheets each of this. And I'll be honest with you, this might be Christmassy, and some of it looks like it might be Halloween. You can use this all year round. So Grab it while it's available. Remember, the mini catalog will go away, I believe, December 31st. So anything that you see that you might want out of that catalog, grab it now. So I also have a scrap piece of Whisper White regular, and I have already cut my little piece out that I want for my sentiment, but we will get to that in just a moment. Here is my piece of plaid, and what I want to do is I want this to live right here on top of that with just a tiny bit of that border showing. So I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to use my Stampin Seal Plus, and I am going to go ahead and put some adhesive on this panel. Just like that, maybe a piece across the bottom and a little bit across the top. I think that will hold it. And then what I want to do is I want to get this centered. Oh, need a little bit more over here. And I think that looks really good like that. Then I'm going to take this piece and I want it to live about like that. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal again. The reason I'm using this stronger is I'm using this embossed folder, and you've got lots of ridges, and you need a strong adhesive that will adhere over top of it. So I'm going to do my bottom and my sides. When I get it about where I want it, I am going to commit. And when I say commit, I mean press it down. Now from the, let's see, this little strip right here, I actually pulled it out of my scraps, but I want to show you. Let me pull the pack. The 2020-2022 in colors. Is where I got this from, and this is actually the Just Jade, but it pairs really well with that, even though that color I don't think is Just Jade. And I wanted to see if I have another piece of that in here, and if I do, let's see. What I'm going to do is, oop, I got little pieces tucked away. I think it's on the back side of this. The polka dots. Let's see. There it is. It was this one right here. And again, that is the that's the 2020-2022 in color Designer Series paper, and it will be. It's in the annual catalog, so. You can find that, and that catalog is going to be good until the end of May 2021. So what I did for this is I want this to go across here just like so. So I'm going to use glue to put this down because I want some wiggle room, because I only want it to go right to the top of that piece. So it looks like a little border right there. So I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to grab some liquid glue, and I might want to pull out my mat, my little silicone craft mat, because let's face it, I'm going to get glue on something, and I need to wash this mat. I had laid it over here to wash, and I just didn't do it before I started the video, so it's a little bit nasty. Alright, so I'm just going to lay this down just like that. And press, and the liquid glue it catches really quick, so we shouldn't have any movement of that. Now we are going to, I'm going to show you the pieces that I cut or I stamped. I took this Forever Fern stamp set, and what I did is I pulled a lot of the elements off of this stamp set. And I'll show you what I did. Here is this one, and this is in the garden green. And I did one in the Rococo Rose. And then in Basic Gray, I did this one. As you can see, I stamped, and this has that distinctive ink where it looks like it's already shadowed. This was not misstamped. This is the way these stamp sets that are distinct ink is the word, and it's the way they load up, and I think they're gorgeous. I love the distinctive stamps. And then I did this larger one right here in Rococo Rose, and I did a small one like this, just one out of the Basic Gray. And then I thought we needed to cut something. So out of the dies have dies that cut all of these pieces, but then they also have some pretty dies that are just for die cutting. They don't take out a stamp or anything, and they're included in your Forever Flourishing dies that goes with this particular stamp set. So I used this one to cut this piece out of the brushed foil. And this is more like the copper color, and it is gorgeous. Look at that. I love to add just a little bit of sparkle on my cards. I think it makes them beautiful, it makes them stand out, and it just gives them that little extra added something. So what I'm going to do now is I want to build my my flowers. So I think what I want to do is I want this one to come right about here. I'm going to put, let's see, let's start off with these two. Let's start off with those two like that. And then let's put this one behind it, maybe a little bit like that. This beautiful gray definitely has to scoot down in here, about like so. You know what, I took a picture of this the way I wanted it laid out, and I would suggest anytime that you're doing a card like this, that you would do the same thing. Take a picture of it. Well, it says I don't know my pen, but I do. Let me look back at my picture. Okay, and my picture tells me that I had this one right here, kind of down, and this one is sticking up about here, and then we have this one sticking right about here, and this one is tucked back under here. I need to bring everything together just a little bit more. And then we got this pretty gray one that we're going to bring right into the middle. Oops. So the reason I want to lay it out the way I had it is because I really want to, I'm going to lay down flat the pieces that I want flat. So I'm going to lay this one down first. I have a butterfly that we're going to put right up here in this corner. So I want to make sure that that is where it needs to be. So I'm going to lay this piece about here. And I'm going to go ahead and secure that with the liquid glue. And then I want to take this piece and lay it right about here. So I'm going to snip a little bit of this off because we don't need all of that. So, and then I'm just going to put glue here on that stem, and a little bit right there across that bottom. And we are going to put this one down so this comes up about like that. And all you want to do is give it a good press. This little one is going to be right here, but we're going to pop him up. I think he needs to be popped up a little bit. Our green one is going to be sticking out right here. And I definitely am going to need some glue on this. So that's going to go right there. And again, you might want to hold that just a little bit. Now this one is going to go right about here. And then this one's going to go there. I think I want this one actually stuck underneath that one just a bit. And then this one is going to go maybe here. And you know, don't be afraid to pull your pieces up and rearrange them, because it's your prerogative. I think this one I want to go just like that. And then what's going to tie this together is this little gold piece that we're going to put right there. So let's go ahead and glue this one down. So I'm just pressing. And now I want this to kind of cover up the stems that are kind of hanging down. And it does beautifully. So I'm going to turn this over. And I am going to put some glue. And I probably should have used my silicone craft mat so I don't make a mess. But we are going to lay this down right about there. Just bringing it over so you're kind of covering the stems. Beautiful. Alright, now I definitely know that for my butterfly, he's going to go on a dimensional because I want him to look like he's kind of in flight. So I'm going to pull out my dimensions. And you know what, I've got some up here. I'm going to use the mini glue dots for him. And what I want to do is bend him so that his body is what I'm seeing back here. And I'm going to put one right there. I think we're only going to need two. Let's see. Maybe one right here. I'll go ahead and do one on this wing that I want it to kind of sit down like that. So I'm just going to remove these little glue dots. These are really easy to take off. And then I'm going to put this like right here. I think having my pieces cut really makes the card go much faster. So the other thing that we want to do is, I did the sentiment, and what did I do with it? Probably Static has picked it up somewhere here with my pieces. Oh, here it is. I cut this using the ornate frames. These are in the annual catalog, and I use this larger one right here, and it cuts out beautifully. And then using the stamp set that's called Healing Hugs, I use the stamp that says sending you healing vibes. My daughter-in-law had surgery on her foot. She injured her foot hiking with her mom, and poor thing, she's had to have surgery on her foot. And she is a coach at a school system in Michigan, and she coaches different sports with like for girls, you know, basketball, volleyball, things like that. So she's very active, so this is going to drive her stir crazy, I'm sure. And she's going to be out of work for about 6 weeks, I believe, while her foot is healing, maybe a month to 6 weeks, something like that. So I thought it'd be really nice to send her just something to cheer her up and let her know that I'm thinking about her and that I'm praying for her. So that's what this card is all about. I just, you know, it's always so nice just to let people know that you are thinking about them and that you love them. So I'm going to put this right here, just like so. How pretty. This card has turned out very, very pretty. I love it. I think that Sarah will love it as well. So I'm going to cut a piece for the inside. Okay, I did find my card base, and this card base is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to do some stamping on this as well. For the inside, because she did have foot surgery, I'm going to use from Back on Your Feet. Hope you're back on your feet soon, and I think that would be a cute little sentiment to put into the inside of my card. Now, if you're wondering where I got my butterfly, I didn't tell you that, and I'm sorry. I have some of this older paper, and if you remember correctly, I tell you that my friend Krista sent this to me. This is a discontinued item, but I use it all the time because I love it. And the Butterfly Duet Punch punches out these butterflies beautifully. And let me show you that. That is this butterfly punch. Now this butterfly punch does come with a stamp set called Butterfly Gala, and it has the stamps that will stamp the little and the big butterfly. It's one stamp, so when you stamp it, you can go back and punch it with this punch and get both of them. This is beautiful to layer that small one on the back of the bigger one, and it looks like the wings have, I mean, it just gives you dimension. It also has the little, the stamp set has the antlers, the little feelers that are out. It also has a body, so that you can make your butterfly look very lifelike, even without the paper. But since I have that paper, I do use it. I love it. So I'm going to move that out of the way, and I'm going to bring this over, and I'm going to grab my stamp block again. And I think I'm just going to, my stamp blocks are so dirty. I think I cleaned the other one before I used it, but I did not clean this one, and I'm telling you what, stamp blocks get so dirty, so easy. So, and I'm just one of these people, I don't like to pick one up, and if it doesn't feel clean, I don't want to put my stamp on it. I know that's weird, but hey, that's me. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do what I normally do. I'm going to lay this on my grid paper and line it up so that it's nice and straight. And then I'm going to pick it up. And I'm going to carry through using the Rococo Rose on the inside. And I'm also going to look at my Forever Fern and decide if I want to stamp one of these in the corner. And I think I do. I think there's a couple of things I want to do with the inside. I think I love this little eucalyptus looking stamp. I use it a lot. But what I'm going to do first is I want to put this Hope You're Back on Your Feet Soon, and I want this to go about here. So cute. I'm going to go ahead and set my Stampin' Scrub, and this is my Stampin' Scrub that I clean my stamps with, and I'm going to sit it over here so I can rub my stamps over it. I think I need a little bit of my cleaner, so I'm going to squirt just a tiny bit of the Stampin' Mist and clean and dry. One side is your wet side and one side is your, and look how pretty that cleans that stamp, and that's with that red ink. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this piece, and what I want to do with it is I want to stamp one full on, maybe right about, I'll tell you what, let's do one off. Stamp off and then stamp on. And then I'm going to stamp one full on. Isn't that pretty? I love that. So again, I'm going to clean my stamp and dry it. And look, no ink, all gone. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so this card is getting there. It is actually getting there. I love the little trio punch, and I use this a lot lately because I just find it so neat. This trio punch comes with 3 punches in one. So if you wanted to do a little hole for a tag, that would be where you would do it. A little decorative corner right there, and also a corner rounder if you wanted to round your corners. It cuts gorgeous. I have used these little decorative punches before, and I tell y'all that every time I use this, and they're usually hard to punch. They sometimes rip your paper, but not with Stampin' Up. Stampin' Up products are so well done. Now, I don't think I'm going to do one in that corner because I've got the flowers there, so I'm going to leave that side undone. And you don't have to worry about your pieces jamming up in there. Like I said, I love this. I'm going to show you if you needed to do a corner, to round a corner for some reason. Look at that. Beautiful rounded corner every time. You know, working for a company like Stampin' Up has been such a pleasure. I just found out a day or two ago, or maybe it was yesterday, that they recalled their magnetic mat for their Stampin' Cut and Die machine. Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Because if you look at this, you see how warped it is? And a lot of people had complained. I had stopped using mine for that reason. What they have done, they're going to give everyone credit that bought one of these. So if you bought a magnetic platform like this, watch your email, because you will be getting an email with a voucher that you can use on your next order of Stampin' Up. And I think they're going to give us full price. So if you are a demonstrator, do not try to sell those anymore. They are not. They pulled it out of the line. Even though it's still in the catalog, it is no longer available. So I appreciate a company that stands behind their product, and when they see that something isn't working, they pull it with no questions asked and give you back the money. Because before I started with Stampin' Up, I had a little online business, and I had some problems with some markers, and some of you that have been following me for years, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that was my deciding factor with going with Stampin' Up. I knew that this is what I wanted to do. This is my calling, and I love it. But I don't want to do anything with product that's not first class. And Stampin' Up has first class products all the time. I got some new products in, and I can't wait to show them to y'all. Some are Christmas and some are not. One of them is the curvy Christmas, quite curvy bundle that comes with this, and also the dies. What did I do with them? The curvy die. Here they are. You get this set of dies, the quite curvy, which you can see coordinates with this. These are just gorgeous. And you can cut these out. You also have some other little patterns there that you can use on your paper that is beautiful. And then you get this curvy Christmas that is beautiful. I love this. I think it's so pretty. Can you see that one and do it embossing it in silver or gold? Look at that. Now, I think these are on back order, but not the Christmas one, but this bundle right here will be available in the new mini catalog that comes out in January. So if you aren't able to get this, I'm hoping they will get Curvy Christmas back in before the holiday season is over. But I will keep y'all abreast of that and let you know what's going on. But that's one of the sets that I want to use and show you how pretty it is. I also got this beautiful Christmas stamp set. These sentiments are gorgeous, and I just put my stickers on my pieces this morning, and I cannot wait to do some Christmas cards and use some of these sentiments. Look at those. Aren't they? I love the font on these. I'm a sucker for a beautiful font, and these are gorgeous, and we're always needing sentiments to go inside of our Christmas cards. So, alright, enough of my babbling. I do want to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see this card a little bit more. A little more better. And I think it turned out gorgeous. I sure hope my daughter-in-law loves it. I hope it lifts her spirit. And I hope that you enjoyed watching me bring this card together. It was so much fun. And until we craft and stamp and join up and be together again, I pray that God would bless you, keep you, and encourage you. And as I always say in closing, let everything you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. Think about that before you react in anger. Before you say that curse word because somebody pulled out in front of you and cut you off. We've all been there. Always let what passes from your lips, if you wouldn't want Jesus to hear it, then don't say it, because he hears it. And that's what I try to do on a daily basis. I try so hard to be what I feel Christ wants me to be, and I'm sure I fail miserably, but that is my desire because of my love for Jesus. So I do pray for blessings in your life. God bless and keep you, and until we craft again, bye-bye.